The Pentagon announcing it will withdraw thousands of troops from Afghanistan as a potential deal with the Taliban hangs in the balance.
White House correspondent Kevin Court begins all of that from the North Lawn. Kevin, good morning.
Good morning to be with you, and I can just tell you this. The U.S. has long contended, Bill, that treaty essentially tied its hands with respect to China. And for that matter, the Russians simply were not in compliance. So I want to share part of a statement from the Secretary of State, Mike Pompeo. It reads in part, dating back to at least the mid-2000s, Russia developed, produced, flight tested, and has now fielded multiple battalions of its non-compliant missile. It goes on to say this: the U.S. will not remain a party to a treaty that is deliberately violated by Russia. Now, the origins of the treaty, as you pointed out, date back to the height of the Cold War. President Reagan and Russian President Mikhail Gorbachev signing that treaty in an effort to de-escalate nuclear tensions between the superpowers. But that has since changed, say U.S. officials and its NATO allies, with the Russians repeatedly and consistently violating the terms of the deal.
This decision is supported by all NATO allies, because no international agreement is effective if it's only respected by one side. Russia bears the sole responsibility for the demise of the INF treaty.
There you see the NATO Secretary General weighing in. Meanwhile, an agreement between the U.S. negotiators, Afghan leaders, and the Taliban could see the U.S. reduce its military footprint in Afghanistan, the longest war in American history, under a deal. U.S. force strength could drop to roughly 8,000. And for a bit of perspective, consider in 2011, that number was over 110,000, reduced all the way down to 8,550 right before the end of the Obama administration, down to around 14,000 here under President Trump. A tweet from Lindsey Graham saying this: Mr. President, keep your foot on the throat. A meaningful counterterrorism force is an insurance policy against another 9/11. Fight them there so they don't ever come here again. Don't forget, we expect an announcement today from the president as he talks a bit about an EU trade deal, something that I believe will make agribusiness leaders in America very happy. That's coming up later on this afternoon. But for now, Bill, back to you.
Okay, Kevin, a lot to cover. Thank you, sir.